Perfect is a word that I use way too often. I use it to describe games I admire, things I admire. I use it to describe things that I think are brilliant, things that I think are clever, or things that I think are just really, really, really good. Like Abe's Odyssey, for example. Recently when I uploaded my video on Oddworld, a lot of you were leaving comments asking me why I thought Abe's Odyssey was better than Abe's Exodus, the sequel. Now, Abe's Exodus is bigger, longer, better, everything that a sequel should be. There's nothing wrong with it, so why do I think the original is better? Well, because I think it's perfect. But what do I mean by that? Let's look at the word perfect. Now, perfect, by definition, is excellent or complete beyond practical or theoretical improvement. Perfect is a completely and utterly useless word, because, well, nothing can be perfect. Everyone is different. For something to be perfect, everyone would have to feel the same way about it. And that's not gonna happen, so why do I still use the word? Well, in my eyes, perfect has adopted an entirely new meaning in the modern world. Let's look at a different definition of perfect. Perfect is exactly fitting the need in a certain situation or for a certain purpose. When I say Oddworld Abe's Odyssey is perfect, I mean it's perfect to me. I saw it as a perfect journey, a perfect story. In that game, you play as the main character, Abe, and you go on a quest that I feel was paced flawlessly. You're enslaved at a factory, you escape the factory, you find your people, you explore a forest, you explore a desert, and you explore dungeons, solving puzzles and eventually gaining power. And then you return to the factory to shut it down and destroy it. This was excellent to me. There's no way it could have been improved in my eyes. But technically, it could have been improved. I don't think anything could reach absolute perfection. Think of the games that people regard as masterpieces in every sense of the word. Portal, for example. Portal could have had better graphics, it could have had better music, it could have been longer, or bigger, or more grand, but it doesn't matter. Something like Portal 2 could never have the same effect on me as Portal 1. Portal 1 was just paced perfectly. The way you wake up in the laboratory having no idea what's going on, the way you progress through the facility, the way GLaDOS' voice just builds and builds and her character becomes more villainous and you don't even know what she is or what she did until near the end, and it was just... It was tight, it built up to a perfect climax, and it was just grand in every sense of the word. Hilarious, scary, fun. It didn't need a sequel. Now the sequel was great too, but it just wasn't as strong, it wasn't as pure. I feel the same about Portal and Portal 2 as I do Oddworld Abe's Odyssey and Oddworld Abe's Exodus. They're both sequels to games that didn't need anything more. Portal 2 is more of Portal. Abe's Exodus is more of Abe's Odyssey. But if I had to give someone the choice of only playing one of them, I would give them Oddworld Abe's Odyssey or Portal 1, because I think they're better. I think they're the perfect, pure experience to the core. When it comes to cutscenes, story, gameplay, puzzles, enemies, it's the way those things come together that make an experience. And furthermore, it's the way those things come together that makes perfection in a player's eyes. So you can't just make something better by adding more to it, or even just tweaking all the problems it has. I think Abe's Odyssey is better than Abe's Exodus, because to me, it's the perfect Oddworld experience. To me, it's the perfect game. See, by talking about this, we're getting at the fact that games are freaking complicated. To make a video game, it takes writing, it takes music, it takes programming, gameplay, all these things have to come together fluidly. And because of how freaking complicated games are, I think it's worth discussing which games are better than others, especially on the terms of sequels. And it's worth talking about that because I think it's worth celebrating which games are able to achieve perfection in a player's eyes. Anyway, news. I'm starting a new show next week. I don't know if you guys are gonna like it or not, but I hope you do. I'm not gonna tell you what it is, you'll just have to wait and see. But I will tell you, it's sort of going to be replacing hidden games for a while, mostly because I've been wanting to reboot that series. I don't know if you've noticed, but I haven't made a Hidden Games in a long time. Probably 2 months, I think it's been. The reason I haven't made one in so long is because, for some reason, I really struggle with that format. I don't know why I struggle with it. Half the time, whenever I'm scrapping a video, it's usually a hidden game. I'll spend 3 weeks trying to make one, and it just turns into chaos. So I've been wanting to sort of change it up, change the name, reboot it, maybe simplify it, all in good time. So yeah, next week, new series, I'm Stupid. Oh, by the way, I grew up with Abe's Odyssey on the computer, so I could already quick save.